And we're back. What's going on, Dre?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. You
Good.
almost caught me going somewhere. I'm chilling though, brother. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Did you have a nickname when you were growing up?
I had a number of different nicknames. So allegedly, before I was 1 years old, I was born, and I don't know when my name was assigned to me. But I had a nickname, and the nickname was Slugger. They called me Slugger. I have no idea why, but they called me Slugger. As I got older, my sisters had a lot of mean nicknames for me,
Yeah.
but I won't say any of those. However, my nickname growing up and my nickname still now is Mix, MYX. Reason being is my homeboy from middle school. His name was, they called him Sticks, Stixx or whatever. They called him Sticks because he was super, super skinny, like a stick, like a twig. They
Mm-hmm.
called him Sticks. And I was like, all right, well, my name is Mix. My initials MY. I just threw an X on it. I was like, just call me Mix. And I got tired of people mispronouncing my name and me having to always correct them and blah, blah, blah. I didn't have time for that. I was like, call me Mix. So that's been my name for a while. So a lot of my friends who knew me back in the day from like the ages of 11 through now, they usually call me Mix.
Mm-hmm. I asked that because I was looking at you and listening to you talk and thinking, you got that man vibe. You know, some kids like, yo, go get man, see if you can come outside and play.
Yo, I appreciate that. Respect.
Like I would picture you with man vibe.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Did you have a nickname?
The only consistent nickname I had. Some people call me Dre.
Mm-hmm.
That's never been like a nickname. It's the only nickname I have that no one in the family understands. My aunt Ruth James, we talked about in the past, who was the lottery hitter, the numbers lady. She called me Artie.
Hmm.
No one knows where it came from. No one knows where it was. She was the only person in the whole family called me Artie.
Interesting.
Yeah, totally. No answer to it because I never knew her not calling me Artie.
Hmm.
And no one knows why. I didn't ask that question. I don't know why she calls me Artie.
Mm-hmm.
You call me Artie. I have no idea.
I hear that, but let's talk about it, brother. Because in the culture, in particular, whenever you're given or
Oh
gifted a
yeah,
nickname, that's
yeah.
100% a sign of respect, a rite of passage. It means we closer than friends.
Right,
We
right,
like kin now.
right, right. For sure. It's kind of funny. People mess up my name because they want to call me Andrew and they call me André. If they catch themselves like Andrew, oh André. Hey, sorry. Yeah, but Andre's not a nicknameable. You know, not much there besides Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like it's great when you get a nickname.
So, question for you, brother. I know how some folks in the Latinx community, or whatever they prefer to be called by, because I know there's a lot of times there's issues with people in the language and the name and etc. However, for them folk, I know how they feel when there's a accent or acento missing from a letter in their name. How you
Mm-hmm.
feel, brother, when that accent mark is missing from your E?
Yeah, I did not know about that accent until I was 12.
Hmm.
Or like have a concept. One day my mother goes, you spelled your name wrong, right? And I said, what? She said, you got an accent on the E. And I was like, what's an accent? And she wrote it down. She showed me, she said, it's like an accent. You have to have this over the E. And I was like, oh. And I just kept it since I was 12. But I didn't know. So it's nowadays with the online thing, it turns to a funny moment. Be like, well, I don't know how to do it on the computer. I'm like, just copy paste this.
Yeah.
Or I try to show them because it is kind of a Vulcan grip because it's like option E. It's a total Vulcan grip. You're like, oh,
Yes.
man,
Yes. It's
but
like, who put these combinations together? Like,
that's why I call it Vulcan grip because your fingers are like this.
mm-hmm.
You make it happen. It's never never that way. It's always
Mm. Right.
yeah. So I don't stress over it. I do if it's a public thing. I'm like, hi, this is my only diva moment. I need you to put the accent on the E because it affects the pronunciation. It's Andre.
Mm-hmm.
I love when somebody say it right, or I love when like a girl, especially from like Brooklyn, call me Andre. Oh,
Andre.
love that. I'm like, you're gonna be my friend. You're gonna be Andre. What's up? We're gonna be friends.
You-
Andre, come on, Andre. I love that. I don't know why I love it. I just loved it. That's so New York too.
Oh, yeah.
Andre. So
You're right. You're right. Okay.
that's about it. That's about it. So I see you got some Echo Unlimited.
Oh, throwback.
Yeah.
It was in the closet, just sitting there talking about pick me, pick me. Let me make a cameo. You know what I mean? So it's P. Diddy today. It's all up in the video, So dancing, Harlem shaking out here. So I got a little echo right there. Yeah.
The boom box for the boom. I see the boom box.
You know.
I never quite understood the tilde over the O, because it's not under echo. It's not echo.
Yeah. That's I'm glad you pointed that out. Mm-hmm. You've now ruined the shirt for me. Let me stop. I'm joking.
He's like, thanks. What are you wearing?
That's a good point, brother. I appreciate your critical lens.
I mean, it's trying to speak to the culture, I guess. It's like trying to be Latinx or whatever, however you identify it. Funny. That's good.
What about you?
What you say?
I said, what about you? What you rocking?
Just rocking my Just Mercy. Shout out to Brian Stevenson. The book first, the movie second. Just rocking it, just doing the thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keeping it simple.
Love all the time to EJI, all the time.
Yeah, right? Right. So, more importantly, what you're sipping on today?
Brought it back. Here we go.
Oh.
Brought it back, Look at our reflection. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. You see the reflection in the video there. Hey, hi. What you got going on?
I had to bring about this back. You inspired me. Get some majesté up in here.
There we go. Majesté.
Exactly. You totally.
Majesté.
But before we pour, I think it's important to take a serious moment.
Yes.
And acknowledge someone that's not with us anymore, who has made appearances on the show, has never really been acknowledged and admitted, but just been persistent. You gotta be real about people that are persistent and they really show up.
Yes.
Showing up is important. So
yes.
To The Fly.
Yes.
With us, we're gonna pour out some.
Thank you for that, because some folks might not have noticed, but we did. And if you've been with us for a while, our Fly Wars episode and our last episode, it's some folks just really want to get in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just not allowed. So let's like you said, let's take up a moment of silence for a good brother Fly who's no longer with us. You know what? I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm here for
Now, we're not going to waste no brown fun.
No.
You get an empty glass salute, brother.
Don't send your relatives. Don't come.
No, don't do that. We ain't pouring out no libations for you.
We done with you.
We'll get a notice.
Oh my gosh. Now it's time. I got to start to get my base.
Here we go.
Oh. A little sprightly time.
Little bit.
I ain't mad at it. Hey, Majesty. What's up? How you been? How you doing? Such a distinct smell.
Oh, yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay.
I'm going to give me some of that 1792.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, and they make a lot of different expressions. This is the only expression of half of them in their small batch, but I'm interested to know what else they got cooking up.
Expressions. You talking all fancy. Break that down for me.
Expression. So what I'm saying is right now they have small batch. They also have they have their single barrel. They have their sweet wheat. They have a number of different other ones that they put out with different mash bills, etc.
And those identifies as expressions.
Yes.
Teach the people.
Little swirl. Again, I have a master's in whiskey.
Hey.
YouTube University.
Okay, work it out. My favorite is, before we toast, Chris Rock was having a discussion about how it's hard for people to see people do well. And he said, you know, somebody go off to college and do good and get a master's and come back on the block. I'm like, oh, you got a master's, you got your MA, but you can't kick my ass. So good, so true. It's like, yeah, I've been there. That's real. That's real. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, you know what? I'll toast to being able to laugh, man.
Yes.
You have something else, but I think that I will at least one toast. Being able to laugh is important.
Being able to laugh and having the resilience and persistence and the boldness and audacity of that fly.
Yes, yes, yes. Right on. Right on. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay now. Okay now.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, my dude?
Listen, brother, I don't know about you, but ever since this pandemic and killing of a number of different unarmed Black folks, right? Too many to name. I've been feeling very Black. I mean, I was Black before, but the world makes you feel even Blacker. And I remember I shared a post on my blog and I said, public service announcement. I am not ... And I put your Black encyclopedia. Do your own research. Stop asking me. I said, I am not your Black Grammarly. So you over here asking me to proofread stuff and see about tone, etc. Holla at somebody else. I am not your Negro. And I am not the person who is going to help you not only carry your invisible knapsack of privilege, but I'm not going to help you unpack it. Do that ish by yourself. If not, if you really need help, you can hire me and we can actually think about these things. So, you know, those are some of the things that's been on my mind recently because, you know, the spaces that we're in, just thinking about how now there's like a huge demand, which is fantastic. But I just want to know, is that huge demand going to come with an increase in, you know, I don't know about you, brother, how you feel?
You know, I am making that demand, you know. I'm being like, yeah, this is how much that'll cost. I'm talking to my people, you know, but limiting it. I ain't talking to everybody. Everybody don't get a call back. I have someone send me, someone that I know send me but I kind of know, I don't really, really know. It ain't like my people. Hi, I'm starting this group with a number of white readers. We want to come together and I'm hoping you can put together a list of what we're going to read. And I was like, is this an official, formal proposal you're making to my company? You know, or you think I'm just going to kindness of my heart just give you, I was all like, just go look at the New York Times bestseller list. It's out there. I'm happy to sit down and consult with you, but it costs, you know. And I did have a few, and I've actually had this a few times this past week because I'm consulting with a few groups. Folks have said like, gosh, you're so patient. And I'm sitting here like, you shouldn't say that too often after I finish talking to your people, trying to get them, like, be careful because you might trigger something in me that may be like, why am I being so patient? You know, y'all might hear what y'all don't want to hear, you know, because I'm making real and be like, no, shut up. You know? But I'm aggressively saying no in spaces that are not giving me what I need. And also having some hard conversations with people. I have some people that I love that we are in it right now because I stood up and I was like, no more. You need to know that over the years, these are white friends of mine, I have been quiet because I'm trained to take care of white people and I made one statement and y'all lost your minds. I'm here and we're trying to find, we've had scheduling conflicts. I don't want to go into too much. These people I love. I love these people. And I need to be honest and say, I've held my tongue with y'all. And I need to not hold my tongue anymore. And yes, we love each other, but this trained behavior that we have, that I have, and I see it as a Black person has to stop. Not wanting to cause trouble or not wanting to get into a debate, You know, I'm very comfortable right now being like, this is how I feel and walking away. I don't have to explain to you. And I don't mean these particular people, I mean in general to people. I don't feel the need anymore to be like, let me explain to you and help you understand what it's about. No. That was wrong. Here's why. Thanks, bye. I'll be over there, you know. You can go listen to Brown Just Barbershop and learn about it, or you look at one of my movies and learn about it, you know, or it's time for the invoice moment. You know, time for the invoice, because it's real, especially when folks are like sitting pretty and comfortable, you know. And I made these sacrifices and choices because I want to stay committed to this work. And you know, the bucket in corporations, schools, institutions everywhere is changed a little bit after the George Floyd incident, lynching. But the bucket where we pull from is always the smallest bucket. The DEI bucket is always small. And I've also been saying this. I say to people now professionally, I don't do DEI work. I do anti-racist training and activism. And I come from that perspective, and I have to think about this. I'm trying to train you to have anti-racist language, anti-racist understanding, and move towards anti-racist behavior. That's what I'm here for. No more DEI.
Talk about that.
I'm trying to be revolutionary. It's time to, this is how we have to be. Like, we're going to stay stuck in this trap that we're in if we don't turn this around. I had a great talk this weekend with someone I really respect and I'm building a friendship with, mad chill person. And we had a conversation because they were just caught up with like, and this is a person of color, just like these white people are like really intense. I'm hitting a wall and I'm reading books. You know what it is? It's when you see, what's that? It's either The Matrix or Alice in Wonderland. You know what I mean? When they eat the mushroom or take the red pill.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, my man, did you know there is systemic racism all around us? And I'm like, what? You mean that stuff I've been talking about 10 years is true? Tell me about it. I'm here for it. Talk to me. Tell me about it. No, and it's funny, you'll do that and they will start going like, yo, check it out. I'm like, wow, yeah, really, for real, wow. Yeah. You just quoted me. Keep going. Yeah. You know? So, and there's power in it, and I appreciate it. And I've been saying again and again, like, I am committed to getting us past a moment and getting us to a movement. That's what I'm doing with my work. If you can line up with that, peace. Like, seriously, peace. Like, we have to be radical and go for complete change in this world, because we are in a bad and dangerous spot, and it's perpetuating systems of oppression, exclusion, murder. And I'm not exaggerating. The world has been seeing it, and for some reason saw it again this time with Mr. George Floyd, you know. And all the other cases. It's really remarkable. Real remarkable. But I had to, that same person, we were talking, like, we had a great talk, and they were texting. I'm sending articles, sending books I recommend, and they're like, wow, this is really great, thank you so much. And we were talking about something, and I was like, yeah, this is something I share on my presentation. Oh, tell me about it. And I was like, you've reached the invoice moment. You know, and had to did it. And they were like, oh, snap, and like cracked up. And I was like, it's real.
That's real.
It's real. You've reached the invoice moment. This is my existence, you know. And I have made choices that I don't regret, where I've lived a monastic life in many ways, because I've decided to stay in this field that doesn't pay as much. You know, I didn't go off and make Spider-Man. Or stay on that track of being a studio executive. I pulled out of that to make films, to do projects, to teach that are focused around this, and I embraced that journey. I love that that's what I'm doing, because I couldn't sleep at night if I wasn't. And, you know, I'm also trying to eat. I'm trying to eat because I haven't been eating like I want to. So I'm all about it. I got my invoice system tight.
Talk about it.
Tight. Oh, like, it was so good to talk to you. Send.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's time. It's
Talk
time.
about it. Get your money. Mm.
And affect change. Yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. How do you feel when you mentioned that? But have you had any instances where you had to like put a halt to a conversation? And then you notice I use them, my person talking. Their pronouns are not they, but to not reveal and be safe and respect.
Okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate the whole framing of the invoice moment. And I'll put it to you this way, brother. Before I get to the like what's happened to me this summer, I'll put it to you this way. Growing up in New York City, before Uber, there were two different types of cabs that I knew. You had delivery cabs where you can, say, hey, this is how much money is going to cost in order for me to get from point A to point B. You already know it's fixed amount. Then you also have the other one. What you say?
You know what that is, right? That's how they do it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And the other one is the meter. The meter cab. Before you even get in the car, there's prices already on the meter. And as soon as you take off, the meter runs until you get out and it stops. And then the surcharge, all that stuff. So if we're thinking about this DEI space or anti-racist space, right? And the work that we do as the cab industry pre-Uber, right? When you sit down and talk to me about this stuff, it's either going to be delivery cab or it's going to be the meter cab, the yellow cab, right? You're either going to have this is the price and this is what you get, or this is the hourly rate for X, Y, and Z. But we have to have that conversation. We have to. So I think about these moments that happen and when does that invoice moment happen, right? There's a lot of people. The invoice moment happens if this is the first time you're ever reaching out to me, yet you know that I have existed in this space for a long time. You might even have known me before I entered this space. But all of a sudden, after the lynching of George Floyd, and all these other things, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, etc., right? You're sending me emails, or maybe you're messaging me on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever the case may be. Hi, Mikael. I see your X, Y, and Z. Can we connect about X, Y, and Z? My school or my institution is looking for X, Y, and Z. Well, it sounds like your school and institution needs to look for someone else, or realize that you reaching out to me is not you reaching out to an employee of another institution. It's you reaching out to me, who's actually the founder and president of my own organization. So if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. Because far too often what I see is a lot of folks who are in these spaces saying, oh, cool, we're in the same league, or we're in the same space, or we're in this, can you help me or kick game to me? And it hurts sometimes too when there's a person of color trying to make it. I'm like, we can have that conversation. But I think that invoice moment comes when the questions the person's asking me are no longer no or yes answers. If I can't say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, or possibly even maybe, the minute when I have to go past that, I think that's an invoice moment. Because if I have to sit there and break something down, unpack this, put this in context, give you new content, point you in the right direction, X, Y, and Z, that is time, and I need to be paid for it. And I think there's too many people. So talk about fraternity space, right? There's a lot of times when you want a favor from a fraternity brother or whatever, we call it, can I lean on the shield? In the hood, it's like, yo, let me get that on the humble. There's a lot of pieces where it's like, yo, let me get that hookup. Now's not a time for hookup, because honestly, we've been in a space where we've been overlooked for way too long. Like you said, our buckets are the smallest buckets to pull from. And now it's high demand. And if we know anything about economics, supply and demand, if there's a high demand and you're expecting us to supply, you better pay us in kind. So what we're not going to do is put even more of a burden on us to say, hey, we really need you. Your work is so important. Can you do something for free? Excuse me? Because I wish you would. How many people you think ask lawyers to do pro bono work? How many people you think ask doctors to do pro bono work. If there's a virus taking place right now, which is racism and all these other pieces, and you're looking for a cure, a vaccine, or something. Treatment. How can you justify asking for that for free when everybody and their mama trying to get it right now and it seems like there's a scarcity? So that invoice moment comes when, one, I don't know you from Adam. Two, you reaching out to me like we've been best friends since 75. I wasn't even alive in 75. You over here slapping fives with me talking about what's good. I don't know you. Or when it's like, this is the first time you're really reaching out to me in my professional career. The first time we're even connecting. And you're like, oh, hey, I see that you're doing X, Y, and Z. My response would be, check out the stuff that's free. Either Google my name or check out all the stuff that I have on my school's website. But if you want me and you want my perspective, my opinion, my facilitation, my training, it's going to cost. Because again, it's I want to be charitable, but this is not charity work. It's real and it's taxing. So for you to put a tax on top of that,
and we spent so much time building this wealth of knowledge. You know, we have done the work, we have studied, we've been in the field. We've been in the field researching and writing, having conversation, going to conferences, healing, struggling, supporting. And so we have an understanding and a way of viewing this. So it's high quality content. So you got to pay. And I have no, and I remember I had moments like, oh, I shouldn't, I should help them out because this is an important cause. No more. You know, I think your analogy of the livery cab versus the the meter before pre-Uber, I went to the dollar van. You know? Everybody trying to get on for $1. Them days are over. The dollar van is like $5, $6 now. It's not, you know, you can't jump on a dollar van for $1 no more. Those numbers don't work anymore. So yeah, I completely agree with all that. I think it's very important. And it's a real moment of self-worth. You know, we have been putting in, we've been putting in, I'm sure you're past 10, I know I'm past 10,000 hours. I'm sure you're past it too. We have been putting in the work. We have an understanding, a knowledge, an ability to affect communities in a positive and good ways. I had a moment the other day where I was like, I know how to do this. And I'm good at this. And I'm actually worth what I'm charging, if not more. And that was a really beautiful feeling. That was a real, because it's, when you get in those spaces and people try and haggle you down and say, well, we only have this amount, you start to believe and question your self-worth. You know, when you start working for a lower amount, it's like, well, you know, my work is not, this isn't what they should focus on. And you see so-and-so charging like a lot for an hour. I'm gonna say it like you from Brooklyn, an hour, you know, and being like, I'm on week 4 and I haven't hit your half of your price point. You know?
And that's super real. And I'm glad you said that, because I want to share something, brother. I think here's a tension for me, because, and you've seen me present about, you know, culture vultures, you know, the whitewashing and the white splaining of wokeness and this moment that we're in. And people are just like, oh, look at me, look at me. And because we have systemic racism, because we have all these pieces where sometimes, no matter what you and I say, if it's coming from a white person, they're going to eat it up, right? So the thing that bothers me sometimes, and this is something that holds me back, and I always think about how I can focus my efforts and energy sometimes, because the conspiracy theorist in me that lives within me, that I think is, you know, the critical lens sometimes, I'm like, what I don't want to do is give all these tools to these white folk in order for them to appropriate it, step into the game and in the space that we're in, where we're really trying to free people, and then they take it and try to build these things that no one was checking for before, no one wanted to do the work, and now all of a sudden they're getting booked, their books are on best-selling list, and we are just in the breeze. And it's like, that's the tension for me sometimes. It's like, where do I put my effort? Because some folks really are going to say thank you and they're going to change, and other folks are going to be looking to make change, literally. And it's just, that's the tension I always wrestle with. Always wrestle with that.
Yeah, I fully get that. And I think word I have for you, and I've been to your presentations. I remember the first one I went, I was like, oh, what's this gonna be like? I gotta tell him one like it. Hope it's all right. Like, yeah, I was ready, like, yo, you was up on that stage, yo. You was up on that stage. That's what I was gonna say. But I saw you present, and I was like, yo, like you had the room, like, yeah, like digging in. It was great. Your presentation style is like the anti-racist hip hop festival.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's so good. It's so strong. You had people like in the back, like, yeah, oh, shout it out. And it's also really a high level of conversation and depth of information. And I value and appreciate it. And I gotta say, I was embarrassed about how surprised I was, because I hadn't seen it. I did see you speak in places and that, and I saw you go, and I was like, whoa, this little introverted mofo like got a little magic inside of him. It was great. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That means a lot coming from you, brother.
Yeah, I really respect it, because it's not easy to get up there. Not everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that do it and drop information, but you're like, oh, okay, that was valuable. You walk out like, I don't know if I go through it again. But I really have deep respect for your style, presentation, your depth of knowledge, and your just well thought outness.
I like that.
Is really powerful and respectful. So yeah, charge your mofos and get what you deserve. Get what you deserve, because it's important and it's powerful and it's great and it's wonderful, what you deliver and what you have. So yes, for it all. And
appreciate that.
I think that the science and the magic is like understanding the invoice moment. Because it's not, and it's interesting, it's not, I had moments like, oh, am I cashing in on tragedy? Am I on like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tragedy tour or oppression tour, but I don't feel that way, because I know this work is so important, and we are restructuring institutions. That's major. We're rebuilding people. We're trying to take apart something that locally is 400 years old and globally centuries old. I'm about to go on, but I'm like, no, I ain't give you all my information. You want me, book me. You want him, book him. We can go in much more depth about that.
Absolutely.
We've been working on it. We got it. But I say I had a moment while listening to you, and this is a foreshadow moment, to when you have your kid or kids. When this happens, think of me, because I can see it. I can see something happen in the house, and I can just hear you say, "What we not gonna have." And the kids all sitting around like, "Oh, here you go." And you just you're helping them grow, but you communicate. I had that foreshadow, so I see it in the future. When that moment happens, try not to laugh, so the kids will be like, "What happened to Daddy?" But I see it. I see that moment. What's not going to happen is, I can see it. I can see it. And those kids will be treated well and loved and grow from that moment.
Oh man, appreciate
that. I claim that foreshadow, that side.
I receive it. I appreciate that, brother. And I appreciate all that you share, particularly like I always appreciate the language and the framing that you give, because you have this natural ability to take something so crazy, so deep, so complex, and make it so clear and simple. And not simple in the sense of that it's belittled or devalued, but simple to the point where you have no excuse not to see it, because it's in your face. This is what it is. So just think about that invoice moment, thinking about, the whole point where sometimes we might fall into that space where we're like, are we benefiting off of trauma? But the thing is this, the real rap is, we're going through that same trauma. It's not like we're on the outskirts of trauma. We live in the same neighborhood. It's Traumaville. That's where we are. We spending time in Traumaville. We trying to make sure that we could build roads to get out this mud, So, and then trying to bring as many people as possible. So I appreciate that, and giving language and body to the things that I think about sometimes. Because sometimes I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But you've been in the game for years, man. So I appreciate all the nuggets and the jewels that you drop.
It's my pleasure to be here and walk with you and share. It's really, It's empowering to have these conversations. It really is. It really is empowering to have these conversations, and it's great to have moments of accepting, understanding your self-worth. Like that is important, because sadly you turn on their TV, listen to the radio, walk down the street, and there's so much questioning that self-worth. If you can, anything you can find to challenge and push back on it, take it, run with it, claim it, own it.
Just listening to you and all the things that we've been talking about, and I'm thinking about, because there's a lot of people who are in the hip hop space in terms of hip hop educators, etc. I'm thinking about specifically anti-racist work, what that looks like, etc. Post Rona, what we need to do, Brown Juice Barbershop needs to sponsor it. We need to have a concert, and by concert I mean we need to have people who have different styles of delivering this message present. It's almost like if you enter a cipher and you're given a word, we're going to enter this conference space, we're given a topic, and we're all unpacking it from our own unique perspectives and angles, one after the other. That would be dope, but it'll be like an anti-racist concert. You can mix some music in or whatever, but that would be golden.
Who's ever watching this, in your mind, envision a little C with a circle around it, or a TM with a circle around it, because that is officially a Brown Juice Barbershop.
That's Brown Juice Barbershop.
Mikael, that's brilliant.
We sponsoring that. Hopefully, we can get our good folks at Majesty or someone else to hook it up. We can sponsor that together. But post Rona, we packing out a stadium or arena, something.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have folks just go after it.
What's your dream? What's your dream bill? Who's on that? Who's stepping up to the mic? Who's performing?
Woo.
For one, you and I emceeing. It's our show. It's our show.
100%.
Coming to the stage next is
100%. Okay, so
what's the roster?
Yeah. Definitely need a Dr. Chris Emden in there. Need a Dr. Bettina Love.
Love Bettina.
I need a religious leader. I don't know who that person will be right now. I have to do a little bit more research to see who can actually pop up in that space. But I need like the equivalent of the up and coming Jeremiah Wright, or the up and coming James Cole. James Cone. I need like Black liberation theology. I need that person who's bringing that perspective. I mean, I got bits and pieces of that in me, but I need somebody who knows the gospel like back and forth. I need that because I need a little bit of that. I'm trying to think right now. Dr. Greg Carr and Karen Hunter. I don't know if folks been watching Saturday class with Carr on Saturdays. My goodness, their conversations are phenomenal.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, man. And then there's other names I could throw on there. There are other names I could throw on there that are like popular right now going around. But I think that's where I would start and I would build around that. So that's like the starting 5 or so and then build around that. What about you, good brother?
Well, I want in our ancestors stage, dig back. I want Naeem Akbar, right, to come back out and like be like, I've been talking about this for 40 years. And I want him to like the official ancestor space, him to come out. I almost want him to do a battle with Cornel West. That's kind of what I want. I want that. And then, Mr. Eddie Glaude. Talk to us about this stuff. I want him to come in and do a thing. And I want some lightness. I want to bring Mr. Kamau Bell in.
Yeah.
This thing coming, he's the giant coming with that hair and everything, and give some funny, and also some real serious thought, And then, I want to honor the folks that we see in the trenches. Dr. Eddie Moore, is out here talking about this stuff, making us think about the N-word and what that means, and give him some shine, and make that happen. And all the folks we know that are internal.
Yes. That
just show up. I got to shout out my man, Dr. Phil McAdoo, to bring in the LGBTQI, etc. perspective, to be real fierce about it and go, and with no apology.
Mm-hmm.
and bring and talk about that. You know, those are my top picks. You know, but we could sit down and plot out. We need to do this dream show because that would be. I
Yo.
mean, for one, when we can all get together, even if I can work it digitally, but I want us all to be together. I want to be in a big old space and do this. This would kill.
Yo.
People will show up in a minute. I can't. You know how good it's going to be. I can already imagine people that's mad at us that they're not on the roster. That's how good it's going to be.
Real rap.
What's up? What's up? Why on the list? I can't get in. What's up?
Because if you think about it, imagine the Kings of Comedy, Queens of Comedy. Imagine that, right? That moment, stadium's packed. You got Steve Harvey bringing people out. Can you imagine you bringing Phil out? Me bringing Eddie out? The stuff that we would say about them, the way that we would say they've touched our lives, etc. Just bringing them out to the stage to talk about real stuff.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, that would be that. That's good. That would be incredible.
Yo, and if we have to start locally at a school, and folks is just like, listen, we invite like 5 to 7 schools, pack out, the Leocora Center or whatever the case may be, and just go after it, and you just have a day, and we just have some music, have a DJ, whatever. What?
Oh, forget about it. Government cheese sponsored T-shirt.
Talk about it. The merch will be yes.
The merch.
Yes.
Look at us. Leave it. That's why you are so my community, because you get where I'm talking about. You get where I'm coming from. We couldn't have this talk there. People are like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. I love it. That's a connection I feel with you. You really understand.
Absolutely.
And can speak and think about this stuff, and that would be. Let's come back to that, because that is a grand idea. I want every institution that wants to do this issue to sponsor. We need $10K from everybody.
Yo, make it happen. It'll be the best thing you ever sent your kids to.
Exactly.
The best thing you ever sent your kids to.
Life changing. And one after one like this. We got to think of a name for it. I mean, I know it's bunch of Brown just barbershop, but I'm thinking like Watts. Watts had that name. Watts. It was in Watts. All these concerts and stuff. Coachella, whatever that is. Coachella the location? What's that? What's Coachella?
I don't even know, brother. You know to tell you the truth, I know Coachella. I don't even know exactly what it is. But because to that point though, this what really got me thinking about these things. Because I'm like, if I wanted to assemble a team, you think about shows like Captain Planet, you think about the Justice League. I'm thinking about like the Social Justice League and all those. I'm just thinking about who would be those people at the table. And a lot of things remind me of a lot of YouTube videos I've been watching, where they had a bunch of people having a round table discussion, etc. Stuff we don't do anymore, really. At least not in the same way that we used to. Folks don't really debate the way they used to.
Oh, no.
They have conversations the way they used to. Why? No. Because they don't have the knowledge to do so.
Exactly. They're not, it's not, and I think there's a reason why the like Dick Cavett shows and all those what do you call it, all those pieces from the past are popped up in there and like so popular, because folks are not like in that space anymore. They're not approaching and dealing in that way. Very interesting.
So we said it here first, man. We rocking out. Post Rona is a wrap.
This is called the show. Who's because it gotta be music. We got Dave Chappelle and have a performance at the end.
Oh yes.
Who we got? What's that gonna be like?
I want I want the boy J. Cole there. I want J. Cole there. You know what I mean? I would love to see Rhapsody there. I need a few gospel singers there. Shout out to Tamala Mann, Tasha Cobb. Because there's some songs that you just play that, you lost me. I'm gone. I'm going for about 7 minutes. Then I'll be back. I'll be back to my regular, but I'm leaving my body for a second, trying to get close to the king, and I'll come right back. But yeah, man, listen. And I think that there could be a lot of sponsors.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
A lot of sponsors.
Forget about it. You know what the major? I'm only at one closing act, or actually, it's either opening act or mid act, and that's how you get everybody there. I want Sade to show up and just sing one song. I'm not sure which one it is, but sing one song. Sing one song. And not that one from Wrinkle in Time, no offense. But Sing one song. If you listen to Sade, I love you, and I want you to come sing a song for us because I think that sound, that voice, would just capture it all.
Yes.
Oh, I love this. We got to think about that name.
We're gonna think about that name. We're gonna definitely think about that name. But yeah, it's got to happen.
Let's take a pause
Mm-hmm.
and think about the magic. I didn't have this in mind when we started this conversation. Did you?
I didn't have this in mind at all. I've always thought about how can we advance the work to like the next level while not leaving the young folk behind.
Right.
All this stuff just came out of our conversation and a little bit of brown juice.
Exactly. If anybody's ever wondering what the phrase building means and is about, you just witnessed it. This is building. And now it's on us to take it to the next step, the next level, and lay the foundation and get it rolling. Because we got everything we need right here between the two of us. Everything we need and more. Right here between the two of us. And that's important to acknowledge and know. Because it can, and I say that because when we at the moment, we're in a meeting and you walk out like mad at me, you gotta remember that this is what it's about. Because if this was easy, everybody would be doing it. It would have happened already. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's actually really hard. It's really hard. And it's our work and our job to make this happen. Because I'll say it again. There are those that make it happen. There are those that watch it happen. And there are those that go, what just happened? You know, so which one are we going to be? Which one are we going to be?
Love that. Love that.
Me too. Our joint LLCs will be at the top billing, brought to you by. I'm with it 110%.
Well, I think that's a toast to we have everything we need and more. You know, we definitely do, and to the best that is yet to come.
Completely. Rock and roll. It's beautiful. Wow.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Last time you made that connection about how we really talked about in our now or later time, that we literally talk about now and later, right? Look at our shirts, brother.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Without you, there is no me.
Likewise, brother. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Another one.
My goodness, I'll get all choked up.
My goodness.
Without you, there is no me. Yes, let's do it. Let's claim it. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir. Well, we heard it here first in the Brown Juice Barbershop.
Right on.
We're going to make it happen.
All of it. I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir. Well, till next time.
Rock and roll.
Take it easy.
Brown Juice Barbershop.
Peace.